Let me paint a picture. You're in your mid 30s. You finally feel like you can breathe a little. The bills are paid. You're not checking your bank account before every purchase anymore. Maybe for the first time ever, you've saved $10,000, and you're proud of that. You should be. Then you hear someone say, honestly, saving $1,000 at 25 mattered more than saving 10,000 at 35. And your immediate reaction is, wait, what? Because how could $1,000 possibly beat $10,000? I mean, the math isn't mathing, right? My name is Debbie, and I spend way too much time thinking about how small money decisions quietly shape the rest of your life. If you're someone who feels like you started saving late, or you're worried you missed your window to build real wealth, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because today, we're going to break down why $1,000 saved at 25 can beat $10,000 saved at 35. And more importantly, how this applies to you, no matter where you're starting. Most people believe wealth is built by how much money you save. More money must mean more progress, right? But here's the uncomfortable truth. Wealth is built by when you start, how consistently you act, and what habits your first win creates. According to data from Fidelity and Vanguard, people who begin investing in their early 20s often end up with double the long-term wealth of people who start just 10 years later, even when the later group contributes more money overall. That should stop you in your tracks, because this isn't about hustle. It isn't about discipline points. And it definitely isn't about who worked harder. It's about activating the system early. Let's walk through the math slowly. Say you invest $1,000 at age 25 and earn an average annual return of 7%, which is roughly the long-term historical average of the U.S. stock market after inflation. You don't add another dollar. You just let it sit. By age 65, that $1,000 grows to roughly $15,000. Now compare that to $10,000 invested at age 35, same return, same market. By age 65, that $10,000 grows to around $76,000. And this is where people usually stop and say, see, 10,000 still wins. But this is where most people miss the real story. That $1,000 saved at 25 almost never stays just $1,000. Why? Because saving that first $1,000 does something far more important than growing money. It changes identity. Behavioral finance research shows that once someone hits an early financial milestone, they are 3 times more likely to continue saving and investing consistently. You stop being someone who hopes to save. You become someone who does. And that shift is powerful. The $10,000 saved at 35 often comes after years of stress, lifestyle inflation, and a sudden realization of, oh, wow, I really need to get it together. That money tends to be parked in cash, invested inconsistently, or pulled out the moment the market feels scary. According to Dalbar studies, the average investor underperforms the market not because of bad investments, but because of emotional timing. Same dollars, different behavior, very different outcomes. Pause for a second. This video is not about making anyone feel behind. It's about understanding that money doesn't reward effort alone. It rewards early repetition. Think about learning a language. Someone who starts at 5 doesn't sound smarter than someone who starts at 15. They just sound fluent. Money works the same way. Early exposure builds calm. Late exposure feels stressful. Waiting 10 years doesn't just cost you returns, it costs you experience. Someone who starts at 25 has already lived through market drops, economic uncertainty, and boring flat years. By 35, they're steady. The late starter is still emotionally reacting to things the early starter already learned to ride out. JP Morgan data shows that missing just the 10 best market days over a 20-year period can cut total returns by more than 50%. And most people miss those days because fear kicks in. Now here's the part that actually matters. If you're 35, 40, or even 45, this principle still works. Small, consistent action now beats emotional, reactive action later. Here's what you can do immediately. Stop trying to catch up. Pressure leads to mistakes. Automate small contributions, even $25 a week. Invest to build consistency first, returns second. Track streaks, not balances. Momentum matters. We're not aiming for perfect here, we're aiming for repeatable. Wealth isn't built in dramatic moments. It's built in quiet decisions repeated long enough to compound. That's why $1,000 saved at 25 beats $10,000 saved at 35. Not because it's bigger, but because it started earlier, learned faster, and stayed longer. And if you didn't start early, that doesn't mean you failed. It means you're starting the next phase with awareness. That matters. If this video shifted how you think about money, subscribe to Infinite Wealth Era. This channel is about building wealth calmly, intentionally, and without hype. You're not behind. You're just early in your next era. I'll see you in the next one.